Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So you voted for what you wanted to see and 209 of you voted, I can't believe it. And the Colouring Heaven Mermaid Special won with 36%, closely followed by Ivy and the Inky Butterfly, which was 28%. So I've been looking through the pages and trying to find one that will show using the polychromos, because that's what people most wanted to see. Sorry, just clearing my throat. And what was I saying? Yeah, the ones that people wanted to see polychromos but wouldn't take us 14 million years on camera. So I've come up with page 18. And this is this little lady that I would like to do. Now I have, don't cringe, I've cut her out with an X-Acto knife just so that it's easier for me to colour her on screen with you. So I'm going to start in my usual fashion, and I won't spend too long doing this because I'll go off camera and finish it. Otherwise it's going to be very tedious for you watching me put a base colour of what is it? Beige red. So let me bring the camera in. So as you can see, I've started round her neck with, if the camera can pick it up, it's terrible lighting in here today because I've got a lot of snow outside and it's lovely, beige red. I hope you can pick that up somehow. So, and I always start my skin with polys the same way, and I put a very light layer, let the polychromos do the work for me, build up a very light layer of this beige red, or if you've got an older set it would be flesh. And that's all I'm doing, is just letting the, I hope you can pick up on the actual colour. I wonder if that is washing it out. Is that any better? It is very pale at the minute. But that's all I'm doing, and that's just to give us this lovely base to work from. So I'm going over the whole thing. And then I've had quite a lot of fun thinking about her hair. I did think pink or purple, but then when I looked back and I looked at the image, I was thinking I want a shock of red hair, I think. So that's all I'm going to do. And as on her fingernails, I'm just going to coat it but leave the tips white. I'm not putting any pressure on at all, I'm just really lightly holding it, and I will just keep going over until the colour builds up. And that way we get a nice base layer without ruining the tooth of the paper too early. I hope that makes sense. So I will continue to do this all over her, on her face, and I will even cover her lips like this 2 or 3 times until I get a nice tone of this beige red. So rather than boring you witless with watching me just straight colour something, I'll go off camera and I will fill her face, her arms and her shoulder in, and I'll come back when we're ready to start doing some more definition in her face. I'll see you in a second. Okay, so I've got a good base of our beige red down with my little stump. And the next colour I want to go in with is cinnamon. Can you see that? I know it's really difficult in this light. Cinnamon. Okay, so I'm going to find all the areas that are have shade in them, and I'm going to start with a light layer of cinnamon. So around her eyes here is darker, and these are light coats, folks. I'm doing it really lightly so that I can build up colours. Going over her eyebrow a bit. So thank you so much to everyone that did put a vote in. It means so much to me to have you be part of, you know, to have a choice in what comes next. Here it's beginning to build up now. Let's just be impatient with it. It's just lovely to know that what we're colouring is something that you wanted to see too, and it just so happened that this book coincided with us choosing our next project. So I knew that I was so excited when I got the email from Colour in Heaven to say that this was the next image. This was the next book, sorry. And I've wanted the Mermaid Legends, and I've wanted, is it Serene, the new one, I think, for the longest time, but it costs so much money. The books aren't necessarily the issue, it's the shipping that messes everything up. So I'm coming down here. And we'll build it up. I know she looks like a little bit like she's got a mask on at the moment, but she won't. A little bit round her ear. And we'll just gently build it up. This just gives me, so I know where I'm putting the deeper colours. And it does take some time for the polychromos to build up. So this is quite an intimidating picture for me, to be honest, to do on camera. I know I do all these ones off camera, but doing it on camera is quite intimidating because you're all watching. But nevertheless, so I figured if I stick with my normal skin colours and then it's less likely that I'm going to fluff it up. That's my theory. Okay, I'm going to do around her lips. Just try and take some of that grayscale out. Try and cover some of that. I hope you can see that it's coming. It is building up. It just takes time. So I want to come down this side of her face. So yeah, it just does take a little bit of time. So I have a new project idea to bring to the channel, and hopefully I've ordered the bits that I need, and hopefully that will arrive tomorrow. And all I'm going to tell you, sneak peek people, all I'm going to tell you is that it will help to make our backgrounds uber easy. Super easy is what I'm hoping. So I will do a video on that, and I hope it works how I think it will. I'm very excited about it because you know me and backgrounds, that we're not friends. We tend to fall out quite a bit. So I'm really hoping that that will allow us to have some more freedom and confidence in backgrounds. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit up in here in her hairline, where her parting is, and round her hair. Like I say, with polychromos it does take some time to let the colours build up, but it's worth it because then you get that nice smooth finish on our ear roll. I always forget ears. Do that. in the cinnamon because it's darker. Yeah, but it's so worth it if you just take your time. I mean, we are supposed to be hobbyists. This is supposed to be something that we love doing. So we don't need to be rushing through every image that we have. Okay. Now I'm thinking I've paved the way for our next colour. A bit more under here. Okay, so that was cinnamon. Then the next colour I love to use is, I've got to find it. Now this is dark, so you're going to have to be very cautious with it. Is Caput Mortem. There you go, you can see that one better. Caput Mortem. So it is very dark, so you do have to be careful. You don't need an awful lot. This is just to give us more depth. This is a beautiful colour for all skin tones. Sorry, I'm just concentrating for a minute. We will blend all this out in a minute. So this is just where we want the real depth of colour. So I'm literally going inside the lines of the cinnamon that we laid down. It's got a beautiful reddy pink tint to it that when it's blended out just enhances all that skin tone. Around here. Definitely under here where Anastasia's given us our shadow lines here, look. That makes life so much easier. So I'm just using it to literally to cover up those grayscaled lines. Right, I want to bring that just gently around her nose. Around here. So we start to build in the nose shape. Gosh, have you ever heard me so quiet, people? This is really concentrating. Okay, then I'm going to go back. Oh no, we're going to do it up here again. So I'm going to bring that just delicately round the hairline. You have to be really light with it. Okay, then I'm going back to my cinnamon. And I'm going to use the cinnamon to blend over that and bring it into the beige red. And again, it's just I'm really light pressure. Get around her lips again, build that colour. She's beginning to come to life, isn't she? I'm just gonna, so we're blending it out, we'll help to smooth out all those lines. Then we'll do even more with the beige red. And some ivory too. I can't believe this issue is so beautiful. Yeah, I was just blown away. I have Mysteria, and I have the other one that I can't think of now because I'm a loony. And I just would so love to buy the books of these too. Okay, right. Now I'm going to bring in some pink. Again, you've got to be quite careful with these colours. Okay, I'm just sharpen it. So I'm going to bring in Pompeian Red. Okay. And I'm going to go in with the lips first just to make sure that I've got more of a natural pink colour going on. Just over those grey lines. And as you'll see, it's quite a bright red, so we don't need too much on the flesh. There we are, some of our lips. And then we're going to put a little bit, just a little bit round where our cheeks will be. Around here. What a pretty lady. Okay. Alright, now I'm going back to our beige red, my little stump, and I'm going to, still very lightly, I'm blending those colours in. Like magic this happens, and it just sort of all pulls together. It's incredible. That's why I love colouring skin with polychromos. Even though it takes longer, you just get such amazing results with it. I mean, look at that blend there. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, around here. And we start to, like, it just kind of brings it all together and softens it beautifully, and it works really, really well. I hope you're picking up on these colours, I really do. The lighting, like I say today, because we've got quite a bit of snow outside, it's beautiful out my window. It's lovely, it's stopped now, but looking outside when you don't have to go out, I love snow when you don't have to go out. It's not so good when you have to go out. So I'm hoping that it's either too much to be able to go to school tomorrow, or it's disappeared, so I don't like driving in it. So can you see what I'm saying about it blending, but also you have to be careful with those colours that we put down because they will spread out and you don't want to make her too red. But the other thing to remember as well is when you put down, when you start to lay colour on the hair, your face will tone down. So what might look quite bright skin when you're doing this will lighten up with the hair colour. Okay, so now I've got ivory. I'm just going to sharpen it. Okay, so this is ivory. Okay, and I'm going to use this to blend too. And it just works really well. And I'm not using a load of pressure because I'm still holding the pencil quite far back, but I am using more pressure than I was. And all of a sudden you'll begin to see it all smooth out and she'll come to life. And she's beginning to come now. And I've left those bits to indicate that there's some light on her face. Isn't she cute? So beautiful. Okay. Now if you want fast skin results, which a lot of us do, let's face it, we want the results to happen quickly. On my channel there is a video showing super quick and easy skin, which I use my Derwent pastel pencils, and that is really quick and easy. So if you wanted to have a look at that, there's you could use the colours on this page too. So I'm just going to add a tiny bit of pink to her cheeks. And I'm going to use salmon. Can you see that? Salmon. Just let it refocus. And I'm just going to add that tiny bit in here. Just where we brighten that up a little bit. And then I'll take the cream and push that in around. And just make sure that we're blended nice and smooth. Isn't that incredible? They're just so lovely to work with. And there we are. I'm happy with that. Now, I'm not going to do the hands and shoulder on camera. I will use exactly the same colours and do it in exactly the same way. Follow the dark lines. Otherwise, like I say, the video is going to be about 5 million years old. Long. And nobody needs that. So I'm going to go off camera and finish the skin in the same style as which I did this. I'll follow Elly's dark lines. Sorry, Anastasia's dark lines. Her middle name's Elly. What I might do is put a little bit of salmon pink on her lips, just to soften that. That kind of just gives a little bit more of a natural tone. And then I'm going to leave the white bits, but I'm just going to use the ivory to blend that. There. Beautiful lady. Alright folks, I'll go off, finish the skin, and then I'll come back to you in a little while. See you in a sec. Okay, so this is what she looks like so far. And I promise you I haven't used any more colours than we'd already mentioned doing her face. I'm just going to blend out there a little bit. So that's how it turned out. Give you a minute to look at that. So I've played with lots of things for her hair, and I've tried pinks and purples, and I don't like them. So, and I've gone back to my original red hair, and I've played around like I always do. And the pearls I'm going to do in liquid pearls, and I'm going to use the Dovecraft, and this is just called Pastel Blue. But we'll come to that. We'll have to do that at the end. So I've done lots and lots of playing just to try and get this colour right. So I've just got, you can hear all my bits of paper. So I've actually got 4 colours to do our hair with at the moment. Excuse me, I'll just have a drink. Okay, that's better. So if I bring you in, I'm going to tip you up slightly. Let's have a look at, where should we start? I started over here, and I'm going to take our hair strand by strand. So I just want to come with me a minute. There. So I've got, let me line them up. Okay, let's see. I've got brown ochre, then I've got green gold, and I've got warm grey 4, I think that is. Can you pick these up? I always have trouble. There you go. Warm grey. I can't see what it is. I think if I move it out of the light, 2, warm grey 2, yellow, green gold, and then I've got middle cadmium red. Now I know that sounds like a bit of an odd combination, but it just seemed to work. So if we focus on this little bit here, I'm going to take my warm grey, I'm just checking, so hard to see, warm grey 2, and I'm going to coat that entire section in the grey. Okay, warm grey 2. Easy. Then I'm going to come in with our darkest of the browns, which is brown ochre. That shows up a bit better, doesn't it? I'm just going to sharpen the tip of this. Here we are. And then I am going to put my pencil at the tip of where Elly's, Anastasia's dark lines are. I keep saying Elly. And then I'm going to bring it up and flick it out. Just where the darkest lines are. So I'm just going to turn around. So here are our roots. And if you just take your time and let it build. We have done this before on the channel with polychromos. There. Okay, then I'm going to take the green gold and I'm going to go over that. Don't come out too far. Just over the darker lines with this. Okay, then it's a scary bit. I'm going to add some red. So I'm just very lightly flicking in this middle cadmium red. Bear with me, I've got pencils everywhere as usual. Just some light flicks in there, but enough to be able to see it. And combined, these colours make an awesome red hair. So I'm going back to our original warm grey 2, and I'm going to go over the whole thing and just help those blend in together. And then any spaces then that you want to deepen up, we can come back in. I want to deepen that up. So I'm using the brown ochre. We can just go back over that red. And then I'm using green gold. And again, flick that in. And again, our grey. There. Now we can always go in and add more, but it does give a beautiful red colour to our hair. Let's do another one. So I'm just picking out like sections of hair at a time. So if we do this one underneath here, look, and I'm putting that warm grey in, and I'm just going to stop it there because that other bit of hair is coming in front. So section at a time, and it is time consuming, but if it works. So again with our brown ochre, and just take your time to put those flicks in where it's darkest. Okay, so it's quite dark here. Leave yourself space for the other colours, don't overwhelm it with this colour straight off. There we go. Then we're going to go in with green gold. And same as we did before, we're just going to pull a little bit of that in. They blend beautifully together, these two colours. It just helps fill white spaces and help to cover that dark grayscale. Well, it's not that dark, but you know what I mean. And it makes us feel like the artist. Okay, so I'm flicking in that red in those dark spaces, just gently and carefully, because again we don't want to overwhelm all these colours. And then what I've done is picked out the sections of hair there, you can see, following Anastasia's lines. Yay, I got her name right. Okay, then I'm going to take my warm grey and I'm going to blend over the top. And that will then give us the highlights in her hair. But we also get a beautiful reddy tone. What do you think? Do you like it? And then what I'll do is just keep playing until I've filled in all those sections of hair, particularly down here at her roots. Just checking you're on camera. Without closing up that highlight section. Making sure that red shows through. And then flick back in with our grey. There we are, and we'll do the same on this piece. So I'm taking our brown ochre, and I'm just going to, what I'm doing is just making sure that that grey is covered. And any white spaces we've got are filled. So same as we did with the skin, letting the polychromos build up that colour. And I think it works really, really well together. It did take a few tries of playing with it, I have to say, to get the colours that I wanted. But I like it, I think it's beautiful. And there's the picture of the lady with the goldfish as well, or the mermaid with the goldfish in this edition, that this colour combo would work well with too, I think. There, look at that. Okay, so that's how I'm going to do her hair, section by section. You don't need me to do it every step of the way, I'm sure. Just rewind me and go back on and just play until you're happy with her. Right. Look at these beautiful eyes. If she's got red hair, I'm going with green eyes. Okay, so I've got a variety of colours here, and the first one I've got is leaf green. This is really, really bright, so be careful. So I'm going to go in around that pupil, and it's just lightly, so that I can get the other colours in. Okay, so that was leaf green. I know, it's weird, but I've got, come on, this one's not going to show, Naples yellow. Okay, and round that pupil, I'm just putting some Naples yellow. And this does two things. It tones down that bright green, but it also gives us the variant in the eye that I'm looking for. Now I've got chromium green opaque, and I'm going to take the darkest bits of her eyes up here and put that in, and I'm going to come round really carefully around the edge of her eye. Alright, I'm just fluffing that out a little bit. And then I've got the last colour is earth green yellowish. And I'm going to flick in there as well. And then I'm going back to the Naples yellow and I'm going to make sure that's visible. There. Isn't that beautiful? So we'll do that again with this eye. So I'm going in with the leaf green. This is very lightly, barely touching the paper again. Okay, then our yellow ochre around that pupil. There we go. Then our darkest green, which is the chromium green opaque, and I'm going to put that in at the darkest point of her eye. Carefully come round the shape of the eye. Then I'm taking the earth green yellowish, and I'm going to go round that shape that I've just put in, and then back to our Naples yellow. There we go. And then we've got two beautiful big green eyes. Isn't she pretty? Okay, so to avoid our video, like I was saying, being weeks and weeks and weeks long, I'll go off and I will complete her hair, and then we'll meet back up when that's done. See you in a second. I'm back, folks, hours later, and her gorgeous red hair is finally done. I'm going to do her eyebrows with you and a bit of her lashes, and then I'm going to call it a night for today, because I've hurt my back. I don't know what I've done, nothing major, but it's just really sore. So what I'll do is call it a night for tonight, and then I'll come on tomorrow after work and we'll finish her together. There won't be too much to do then. The pearls, like I say, I'm going to use a liquid pearl. I'm not sure what colours yet. Very little background to do, and we can do this. And I've chosen the colours for that, so it shouldn't take us too long. Alright, let me bring the camera in. Okay, we stop her there. Let's come in a bit further. There we go. So I'm going to take our brown ochre, and I'm going to just follow the lines that we've been given and give her some brown ochre brows. Just so that she matches up with the with her hair. Sorry, I'm not with it at all. What's going on? Alright, and then I've got a little bit of raw umber, and I'm just going to put that at the base of the eyebrow. Just a tiny bit. Simple as that. Okay. And then back to the brown ochre, and I'm just going to, you're not really going to see it because it's that dark round there, but I'm just going to add a tiny bit, a tiny touch of that to the base of her eye, like that. Okay, let's do this one together. So I've got a little bit of mist up here, or it I haven't got enough on. There we are. So I'm just literally following the lines with our burnt ochre. And then I'm going to take the raw umber and just put that in at the base of it, just to deepen it up a little bit. And then we'll do the same with the eyelashes on this beautiful eye. So I'm going to come round here, and I'm just more going to give it the appearance of that colour being there on that eye. There we are, I hope you could see that. And then one final thing I want to do is to take our, I want to take warm grey 1, I hope you can see that, warm grey 1, and I just want to put a little bit, just a tiny bit, in here. And this should just help our eyes to have a more natural appearance, a little bit more rounded. Okay. And then I'm going to take cinnamon, cinnamon, and I'm just going to go in the corner of her eye there, her little tear duct, and make sure that that's got some colour on it. There, simple as that. Let me come out so I can show you the whole image. Isn't she looking beautiful? See my mess? This is all my practicing. I'm really pleased with how she's turning out, and I really hope you like her. I've got some ideas and colours ready to do this bit, and the coral in her hair, and obviously the pearls. I'll show you how to do that, and we can finish her up tomorrow. I don't want to rush her to get her up to you tonight, and when my back's bad, and then mess her up. So I hope you don't mind that we'll meet again tomorrow and do her together, finish her off together. Alright, lovely people, thank you so much for watching and voting for this page. I've loved it. So until I see you tomorrow, take really good care of yourselves. Night night.